The 2xKO closed beta has been out for a couple of weeks and I am having a blast. The cool tag mechanics, the combos, the insane mix-ups, and of course, the BM you could do to your partner in duos. But what's even better is that the potential characters that they could add into 2xKO. As you know, Riot and League of Legends has a huge catalog of champions. I mean, just look at all these champions they can pick from. Oh wow, that's pretty large. Oh, it's over. It's over. Oh, okay. Well, you get it. The catalog is large. But with this game being a free-to-play fighting game, the potential for this thing to catapult is through the roof. And I mean, when has a free-to-play fighting game ever failed? Ooh. Okay. Some of these are not very fair comparisons. I mean, Rising Thunder did eventually become 2xKO because they were handled by the same people and acquired by Riot. And, you know, Multiverses, you know, the WB and all that nonsense. I do not know what the expectations are for Riot or the 2xKO devs. Do they think that it's gonna be one of the next big three? You know, is it gonna replace Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear? If they think that's it, then I'm not so sure about that. But let's work with the worst case scenario, meaning that the game may not last as long as we want, but that also means we have a limited amount of characters or champions to pick from to add to the 2xKO roster. And like, there are some really good hits in this catalog, but also there's some real big misses. So Riot, Tom Cannon, maybe Apology Man, whoever happens to be watching this video, from a League player who's played since 2010, please consider my list of champions that you should add and avoid adding in the 2xKO roster. So, let's begin with champion number 1 that I want to see in the 2xKO roster. So, Riot has made some pretty good reworks on some outdated champions visually. You can look at Poppy, Warwick, Urgot, you know, before how they looked like in the early days of League to now with their visual updates, they look absolutely amazing. But Riot absolutely cooked when it came to Fiddlesticks, because boy, what he looked like before, he was basically some sort of Halloween decoration you would buy at a Party City or Target, but now Fiddlesticks is an absolute horrifying menace. He would absolutely be amazing to add to the 2xKO roster and show off just how much of a menace he could be in this game. We could also incorporate some of his key mechanics in League of Legends to 2xKO. So for example, his fear, maybe it could be some sort of applied debuff where the opponent can no longer call the assists. That means they can't use assist block anymore or even use their burst for a short amount of time. Maybe his like drain ability could be a command grab, you know, so he could suck out the life of the opponent and steal their HP and put it into his own. And not only that, but on top of his cool toolkit, we honestly just need some freak picks. For every soul bad guy, Kazuya, Ryu in these fighting games, we have like a Faust, a Yoshimitsu, a Blanca, and so we really do need some freak picks in 2xKO. And guess what? there's a pretty famous streamer who does love Fiddlesticks and who played in the AT&T Cup for Street Fighter 6. So I mean, if he played Street Fighter, then maybe he could play another fighting game in 2XKO if we add in Fiddlesticks. Well, you know, if I'm going to be pandering to popular streamers out there and or YouTubers, then we might as well go for another one. So let's go ahead and see who the next champion that I would love to add into 2XKO. Draven. Yes, I know. Is this pandering to Tyler 1 so that he could play fighting games again? Yes. Is this also maybe so that I could see Ludwig and Tyler play duos in 2XKO? Yes. But I also think that Draven would be pretty sick to add into 2XKO itself, not only for his character, but also for his gameplay. So my idea for Draven in this game would be that he would be this sort of mid-screen zoner, but once he gets you into the corner, he can be this pressure monster that just absolutely is gonna chip you to death. So his Q, right, you throw the axe, flies up in the air, you then catch it, and then you're able to ready another axe, right, and he has two at the same time. So in 2XKO, he could basically have an axe throw special where it does the same sort of thing, where if you're able to catch it, wherever it lands, you're then able to use that axe immediately. And so in mid-screen, he could be zoning you out with those axes, trying to catch them at the same time, right? Along with his E, that if you throw it and it hits somebody, it moves them away. But once he gets you into the corner, then that's when he starts unlocking the potential of being this like high pressure monster, right? You could imagine a scenario where he just does a block string on you on a corner, he then throws his axe, he then immediately is able to act and presses another block string button on you, he catches the axe, he's then able to throw the other axe, right? And he kind of does this rinse and repeat process. So we pandered to the people who want some freak picks, we pandered to Tyler 1. Who else should we pander to? Well, there is definitely a large population of people that we can definitely pander to in the fighting game community. And as much as we loathe to say this, we gotta have to pander to them no matter what. That's right. Gooners. So, League has an endless roster of characters to goon to, but I chose Akali because, one, we just gotta appreciate the glow up. I mean, take a look at what her splash art is when she was first released and what it is now.
Out of the way, you!
Like, damn, that's a good upgrade. But on top of that, two is that I believe every fighting game roster should have some sort of ninja or shinobi-like character. Street Fighter has Guy, Ibuki, Kimberly, Tekken has Master Raven, and Mortal Kombat has...
Get over here!
All of them. So 2XKO should have a ninja and or shinobi character. She could be this sort of close range, mix-up type of character, right? She could also have some long-range capabilities because her passive, right? Which brings out her Kama, which gives her extended range and deals additional damage. So she could have some sort of, button or maybe a special that, gives her that long-range capability. On top of that, maybe her smoke bomb could be a super, so when she lays it down on the, the fighting game screen, not only gives her enhanced movement, but it also allows her to dash through her opponent's like actual physical hurt box. So now she actually has some sort of crazy left-right mix-ups in the super itself. And then her level 3, it could, like her ultimate, works similarly to like Zero's lightning attack in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So, you know, again, like you're doing a combo, you activate her level 3, she then can do another button sequence and then goes into one of the charges, right? And then you can kind of cash out and do this sort of long sequence combos, or you could do something tricky, like maybe do purposefully, like as you launch them in the air with one of your dash charges, you purposefully air reset and then go ahead and dash down across on the floor, and now their opponent's in the air and you basically have like an ambiguous like cross under mix up left right kind of situation. You know, like that'd be pretty sick for Akali. Well, you know, speaking of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, there is a character that I think is sorely missing in this sort of tag team fighter genre, and you know what? League of Legends just perfectly happened to have a character that basically homages one of the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 characters. So without further ado, let's get on to female version of Wahoo Pizza Man. Just add her to the game. Just add her to the game. Non-negotiable. Like, what are we doing here? Just add Samira into 2xKO. For God's sakes, she has a built-in style mechanic in League of Legends, and we can just implement it into 2xKO. Like, we all love Dante, right? Pizza, mommy issues, a brother that wants to kill us, and having a Dante incarnate in 2xKO in a tag team fighter, that's a no-brainer. So to preface this, Samira has a passive in League of Legends where she has this style meter that goes from E to S, and basically you build it up depending on different attacks that you use to hit the opponent. So you do like an auto attack, you then go into her Q, and then maybe into her W, whatever, and that continuously builds up the combo. So you can imagine a scenario where in 2xKO, she has all these, you know, different command normals that go into each other, different specials that go into different other specials, you know, again, similar to Dante and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and depending on the different moves that you use in that combo, you build this style meter, right, going from E to S, and the higher you go, let's say, the less, I don't know, like hit stun decay that you get off your combos, and so therefore you have more opportunity to combo into different specials or different command moves. On top of that, once you get into S, that is where you basically unlock the ability to use her level 3. Similar to what is in her League incarnate, where you can't use her ultimate until you get to S rank in her combos. So as you see here with Samira, you gotta be a combo monster. You gotta be smoking sick style. We're not gonna do some baby shit where you do panically use level 3 on defense. No. You do not have the opportunity to use level 3 like that. You gotta hit the opponent, you gotta have a sick ass combo, and if you wanna see that level 3 cinematic, then you better be able to hand out and dish out some bus ass with some sick combos. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think we need a Dante incarnate in this game, and Samira absolutely fits the picture because she is basically based on Dante. So add her to the game. What are we doing here? No questions asked. Please just add Samira into 2xKO. So, you know, as I was thinking of other tag fighting games, and Android 18 came to mind from DBFZ, and, you know, she has Android 17 as like some sort of assist with one of her specials, right? And I got to thinking, you know what? It would be kind of cool if we had like a two characters that played as one type of scenario. So, in the League of Legends equivalent, we could add Xayah and Rakan. basically lovers in the League of Legends universe, and if they are played in the same game on the same team, then they give each other, you know, sort of special little bonuses, right? In 2XKO, I can imagine a scenario where you have the main controllable character, which is probably going to be Xayah, and one of her special buttons, probably special 2, will exclusively be able to call out Rakan. Rakan ends up being like the puppet for Relius or Koromaru for Ken in Blaze Blue and Persona 4 Ultimax, respectively, where he has this meter on the bottom, and Xayah can call him out, and the meter depletes whenever he gets called out. Of course, you have to be careful not to mindlessly call him out, because if he gets hit with something, then maybe the meter depletes even more, and once it's fully depleted, then you basically have no access to Rakan anymore for a set amount of time, and you have to wait for it to rebuild. And you're working with just one special button. You're working with half your toolkit, essentially, as Xayah in 2XKO. Well, we are winding down to the last character that I want to add in 2XKO, and I promise you, this is going to be one that is very reasonable, so please understand when I want this character. So why do I want Sett in this game, you may ask? Do I like how he plays? Do I like his design? Do I like his lore? Or do I like his spring spirit skin? Oh, yeah! Damn. Well, no to all of that. Really, the singular reason why is so that I can play him in Japanese dub, so I can listen to one of my favorite voice actors, Takehito Koyasu, Dio himself. Like, if there's any way that I could play any character that sounds like Dio and is voiced by Takehito Koyasu, like, I'm all in. So just add him to 2XKO. I mean, we already have Sugita Tomokazu, who voices Yasuo in Japanese, and young Joseph Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so might as well just add the entire cast of JoJo's in there, right? But that's pretty much my recommendations as far as what I think should be added into 2XKO's roster. But now, let's go over the landmines, and boy, do we really gotta avoid having these characters in the 2XKO roster. Okay, so imagine this. You are in a board meeting discussing who the next 2XKO roster character will be. You raise up your hand, and you say, what about Garen? What? Dog. The hell kind of suggestion is that? I understand this character is historic for League of Legends, spin to win, right, that meme. He is one of the most popular characters in League of Legends, I suppose. He certainly is at least a staple of League of Legends, but for the love of God, like, do we really need this man? We have limited slots for our 2XKO roster, and as Max said,
Garen, this is Darius but boring. 5.
Look, I have faith in what the devs can do to cook something up that's super interesting for Garen in this game, but like, I really do not want this character in 2XKO. If I have to watch a 2XKO character trailer and it happens to be Garen, like, I can only think of the same feelings I had when I was looking at the latest Smash character and it turned out to be like the 8th Fire Emblem character. Like, ugh, God, not this guy. Well, I guess despite Garen being boring, that's probably at least the lesser of two evils, because man, this next character just makes you want to break your keyboard.
It's a trend that will not go away. Creepy clowns making threats. At one school, CCSD police say that students started a stampede at Levitt Middle School this morning after someone yelled clowns.
In fighting games, there are certainly characters that, no matter who mains them, we always gotta give disrespect, right? Blanca players, Arcune players, Morrigan players, well, League is no different. And Shaco mains? We don't respect Shaco mains. In fact, I think a good term to be used on them is what Ludwig always says.
That guy's a fucking terrorist.
Shaco mains, they don't play League of Legends. They play their own game. It's called How Can We Make Everyone's Day Worse? Not just the enemy team. Everyone. Even their own teammates. Either Shaco is making your life miserable by being on the enemy team and frustrating the hell out of you, or he is toxic as hell on your team and is absolutely useless in your team fights. This character deserves to be put in Guantanamo Bay for the crimes they have committed for the decade-long history of League of Legends. Please do not add Shaco into this game. I just bought a new stick, and I do not want to cave in the walls of my home when I have to realize I need to play against a Shaco. But, you know what? Shaco got lucky. Because, he's probably not the most hated character in League of Legends. That is reserved for a certain little feline creature that made me want to quit League of Legends.
Jump! Get the fuck down from there!
More of a dog person, huh?
So, I'm not the biggest fan of Enchanter supports, Soraka, Lulu, Janna. If I ever had to play those characters in bot lane, I just would not like playing as them. I would rather play as Leona, Nautilus, Rell, any kind of character that's meant to get into the action. But, out of all the Enchanter supports, one of them is absolutely heinous and should never be added into 2xKO and ever be mentioned ever again in League of Legends history. That's right, I'm talking about this piece of shit cat, Yuumi. This character basically ruined League of Legends for pretty much a couple of years. This character specifically was one of the biggest straws that broke the camel's back. And for me, it is such PTSD inducing whenever I had to face a Yuumi in bot lane. And some of you who never played League of Legends, you may think to yourself, oh, this is a pretty cute cat. Look at its eyes. It can't be that bad. But when you look behind those eyes, what you see are the thousands of keyboards that have been smashed, demolished, broken into pieces because of how rage-inducing and frustrating it is to play against this character. So, Riot, 2xKO devs, please, if anything, for the love of God, do not add Yuumi into 2xKO. So, you may be thinking to yourself, Rammus? Why Rammus? I mean, Rammus doesn't seem that bad, right? Visually, sure, he may be a little boring, but he's just a little turtle man. What's so bad about Rammus?
Just not what you want to do. So you can see he's kind of like, oh, I don't want to go.
Rammus! What?
Goes for the Rammus.
Hang on, where is everything going? Ox, help me!
Okay, it's mid Morgana Rammus support.
10 seconds later.
Here in 2025.
The back-to-back world champions won't be denied an opportunity to run it back one more time and still can run that lower bracket and try and win the LC.
So, to preface this, I stopped watching competitive League sometime around when SKT, or now T1, won their third Worlds. And it wasn't until the pandemic in 2020 where I decided to watch competitive League again. and boy, Donwan stole my heart. Now they're D plus Kia, and watching them, I really loved their type of team dynamic. I loved the players, and I mean Showmaker, man. Like, how could you not love a name like Showmaker? That is one of the godlike names that you could have as a player name. But every year, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. From winning Worlds to getting second place at Worlds to making it to top 8 at Worlds to not even making it out of the group stages in Worlds, and now, just recently, they're not even in Worlds. And, you know, it would be fine if they ended on, you know, like the best of terms, they did all that they could, but no. In a pivotal game where they needed to win to survive, last pick from Beryl, he decided that this was gonna be the time to shine, and he picks Support Rammus. Support Rammus. In what universe is that a good idea against T1's team comp in that game? Who are we kidding ourselves? What was Beryl cooking? And at the end of it all, we basically look at DK's historic streak of making it to every Worlds, and it ends on an 0-9 Support Rammus in Game 4. Jesus Christ, this team is ass, man. Can we talk about how Beryl has 2 Worlds Championships under his belt? 2. He has the same amount as Zeus owner Kariya Gumayushi. How in the hell does this man have 1 Worlds Championship, let alone 2? Like, Jesus Christ, that is not possible with how he was playing this entire season. Like, I don't know who came up to Beryl, but it feels like somebody talked with him beforehand and was like, hey man, a Worlds Championship where T1 isn't in it? Do you mind if you throw the game? And Beryl looked right in front of their face and said, okay. To be real, we can't put this all on Beryl. Everyone in DK is just bad, man. From Siwoo, Lucid, Aiming, and especially Showmaker, each one of these players has had a moment where they either throw the game or they run it down mid and lose in the first 15 minutes. Like, this entire roster just has been a complete downfall of epic proportions. We have to look at what this team has done to one of the biggest content creators in League of Legends, Kadril, where they made him change thumbnails to look like this to this.
How are you so fucking bad? How are you so fucking bad all the time? How are you so fucking bad? What the f is this shit? You're top 2 in the LCK fucking cup. Then you go 5 wins in a row in the fucking first round. Now you're shit. Now you're shit.
They in the last 8 series, they're 1-7. They're 1-7. How? How are they losing to Bro 2-0? They're tissue paper.
This team has basically done mental damage to every DK fan out there. And I have to grapple with the fact that this team is complete ass. I just don't want to be a DK fan anymore. So if 2XKO were to have Rammus in their roster, I would essentially be looking at the character select screen and be constantly reminded how Beryl decided to break their historic streak of making it to every World since I started watching this team and throwing it all away on an 0-9 Support Rammus. So please, for my mental health, do not add Rammus into 2XKO. Well, hopefully I was a little compelling with my arguments in regards to what characters we should add and not add into 2XKO. But certainly I missed a lot of champions, and there's just a huge amount that we could pick from, so please, in the comments below, if you think there is a champion that you would personally like in 2XKO, or maybe a specific champion that I did not mention that should also not be in 2XKO, then please feel free to write it down in the comments below. And if you do like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. I am trying to grow as consistently as I can and trying to basically make content on a consistent basis. So other than that, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that the rest of you have a good rest of your day. This is the Yuckster. I'll see you all in 2XKO.